So I just went to my YouTube account and it said I haven't posted in 21 days. Like my last video was posted 21 days ago. And I was like, how is that accurate? Like, how can that be true? I'll tell you why. Because I told myself that I filmed 2 videos. I've filmed 2 videos and I haven't posted them. Why? Because I said to myself, I'm going to edit these videos. I'm going to edit them. I'm going to put them together. I'm going to film this video with the knowledge that I'm going to go and I'm going to edit them. Okay. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I haven't been editing my videos. I used to be an over editor. I used to edit so much. It would take me 18 hours per video. And I tried to do it in one day. So make it make sense. And now I was like, I've gotten into the habit and the routine of posting these unedited videos. I just press record and then I post it straight from my phone. And I think I've gotten in the routine now where I'm going to try to edit my videos again. Okay. Guess what happened? Nothing happened. Why? Because I had found what the block was. The block was me getting from my phone to the computer, getting the video from my phone or the camera, which is why I don't film on my camera anymore, to the computer, and then opening up Final Cut and then going through it and being like, what do I edit? What don't I edit? What do I leave in? What don't I leave in? What's the vibe of this video? Guess what happened? You can guess. I didn't post the video. I haven't been posting videos because I reintroduced my block. Why would I do that? Why do we do that? Why do we decide, okay, like I feel like I'm doing really well now. I have like a system. I'm feeling like the flow, like I'm in a momentum. I'm going to change things up. Why? Like, why can't it be good? Why can't we be good? Why can't we allow ourselves to say, okay, you found a flow. How do you keep just going with this flow, maybe making it better, not reintroducing the block that you had before? So I tell people all the time, I'm like, yeah, like I tried to get an editor. I loved the editor. I love how she edited. But in terms of the flow of the workflow, I still was so nitpicky about like, okay, what do I want to post and how do I want to post it? And like, what are we doing and what are we talking about? And is this the right music? And and so I just decided, you know what? Remove it all. Just upload videos of you talking. Just upload videos of you talking. Like, don't edit it. You don't even have to rewatch it if you don't want to. Just get into the process, into the habit of talking to the camera and then pressing upload. And that's what I did. And I enjoyed it. I had a great time. I didn't really think too much about what I was talking about before. And then something came over me that was like, you need to have like a strict idea. You need to really think about what you're going to talk about before. Then you need to go into the video maybe with points. And I always talk about like not having bullet points. Like I just want to talk. I just want to have to say what I want to say. And for some reason, this voice, whoever the voice was, I don't know who it is, but they need to go, was like, you can do it better. Start editing again. Start more structure. And I don't even like structure. Like I don't like structure. So why? Then again, if I found something that worked for me and it was working and I was being consistent at it, did I then try to sabotage myself? Like I sabotaged myself and I said, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do it this way because it's going to be better for me. Oh, who told you that? And honestly, I don't understand why I thought it was going to be better for me, why I thought it was going to be the thing that I need to do in order to progress and to see better results with like my own content, when I already know that the block I had was getting from the phone to the editing. And so now here I am, and I'm looking at my YouTube studio and I'm like, you haven't posted in 21 days. Why? Because I self-sabotage. And I feel like we do this all the time. It's like when something's working really well, when something's going well for us, when we're like, okay, finally feel like I've gotten a routine, like I feel like I've gotten a grasp on what I'm trying to do and the goals, and I'm working towards them, and I feel like I'm getting a little bit closer and it's getting a little bit easier, then all of a sudden this grand idea pops into our head and we're like, you know what we should do? We should make this harder for ourselves. We should reintroduce the blockage that we had just knocked down, that we just kicked down. Let's reintroduce it. Let's see if we can like bypass it again. And it's like, oh no, actually, no, this was good for me for a reason. And how about we just keep going with it? How about we just see where it goes? How about we stop trying to reiterate? And in my mind, I think a part of me was like, Mr. Beast always says, try to like make your videos like 1% better, or like try to focus on one thing until you think you got the grasp on it, and then you like, progress to the next thing. It's something like that. I can't really remember. But in my mind, I was like, okay, like I think I got the grasp of like the consistency and the type of videos that I want to do. So now I think that I can like reintroduce editing. No, that obviously that didn't work. It didn't work. So no, I'm back here. And I was just thinking to myself like, wow, 21 days went by, didn't even realize it. I've filmed videos, which is my problem before. I've filmed videos, they're sitting in my camera roll. How many of you have filmed videos in your camera roll that you haven't posted? Okay, why haven't you posted them? And I'm asking this question to myself too. It's like, why haven't I posted them? Once again, the block. The block is the process of me getting it onto the editing platform. It's not working. Why would I reintroduce it? Okay. So honestly, that was just a talk that I had to have for myself. I had to really just like stop myself in that moment and say, you don't need to be this thing. Like you're watching other people, obviously they're editing, even if people are editing their talking videos, even if they're doing it in a certain way, that doesn't work for you. We've gone through this before. That doesn't work for you, and it doesn't work for you yet. Let's not like claim it as our own, like, oh, that just never works for me. It's like, I realize that that's a block that I have. And in order to work through the block and to show up consistently here, this is what I have to do. I think we all have this in our lives, and we're all trying to, it's the same with, I have this thing with Notion. I don't know if you know Notion, but if you know Notion, I will consistently go back in there maybe once a week, sometimes once a month, like once I like back off, and I'll always try to redo a page or like remake a content calendar, remake it over and over again. And it's like, it's yet to really work for me. Like it's yet to really work for me, but I keep going back. Why? I keep spending hours trying to make it work for me. Why? I don't know. It's like this thing that I'm like, it's going to work for me. It's going to work for me. It's like, it doesn't work for you. Like it doesn't work for you. That's okay. And I think it's accepting the fact that if something doesn't work for you, that's okay. Just because it's working for other people, just because they figured it out, that's great for them. For you, it might just look like pen and paper. It might just look like writing it down. Like it might not be the whole dashboard, the calendars, automatic. It might not be that for you. Why is that not okay? Why is that not enough to just admit like, it's okay. Like that's just not my vibe. And I think that's what I'm like fully understanding is like, maybe at this point in my life, my vibe is not uploading these videos into Final Cut. Maybe that's it. And maybe one day, who knows, things will change because things always change. But right now, it's not my vibe. Right now, Notion, even though I try to get it to work for me over and over again, I might just have to admit it's not for me. And the thing about it, Notion, not to go on a tangent in that way, but I love it. I do love it. I love it. And I wish that I could just have, it's not the fact that it doesn't work well. It's actually the fact that it does work well. And it's so customizable and so personal. You're able to personalize it that I'm like, I want to get this perfect just for me, just for my brain. And that level of flexibility is terrible for me. Like genuinely, that's not good for me. That's why Notion's not good. It's not because I don't like it. Like if Notion wants to work with me, I'm like, I think that this is great for so many people. But the reason why I get stuck in it is because I look for like, how do I make this perfect? It's the perfectionism. And I think it's also the perfectionism in the video editing where it's like, how do I make this perfect? And if I'm just going to upload this and just like this, like it is what it is, right? Like this is just how it gets uploaded. But if I get to like open an editing app and I get to edit myself down, well, let's just see, how do I make this perfect? How do I do it? And that's where I get stuck. As a recovering perfectionist, I'm in progress of recovering. It takes me back to like, you can make it perfect. What are you trying to say? What are you really trying to say? What do you really want to do here? How do you really want to make it look? How do you really want to make it sound? And then I get in these nitty gritty like details. That's really debilitating. And so I'm not sure if it's like the thing is to avoid it or to figure out what the block is and to knock it down. But I feel like I've found how to knock it down by just doing this and keeping it really simple and just doing what I have to do and just showing up in this way and not having these larger expectations of myself that I don't really need to have. Like, no one commented and was like, we want you to edit your videos. We want you to, like, the comments that I've actually gotten, which have been so kind, have been like, thank you for continuing to post these. Like, thank you for continuing to show up. And then I go and I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? Not show up. I'm going to stop posting for 21 days. I'm going to stop posting and I'm going to edit my videos because that's what everyone wants. Everyone wants me to edit the videos. Literally, no one wants me to edit the video. No one's asked me to do that. They've literally just said, thank you for showing up. So that means that what they want is for me to continue to show up. And that's all I have to do. So if there's anything in your life that you're like trying to be a perfectionist at and constantly hitting a wall, when you get to a certain point, remove the wall. Remove the wall, get rid of the wall, throw the wall away, and don't look back. Don't look back. Don't do what I did. Because when you look back, then you're like, should I try it again? No, not yet. Okay, not yet. Until you feel so confident that you're like, and until you're like, this is what people want. And it's not about people. It's not about like, oh, like I have to do this because this is what they want. But it's until you feel like people are, like your audience would really benefit from it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like benefit, not just like enjoy if you cut out and this and that. If they would really benefit, and in the comments you're getting the sense of like, okay, this is what they really enjoy about it, that's when you can iterate, right? That's when you can be like, okay, what can I do here? Versus me, I'm like, the comments are like, thank you for showing up. Thank you for constantly posting. Thank you for showing this. Thank you for talking about this. And then I'm like, you know what they want? Me to not talk. They want me to be quiet. They want me to leave. No. And so that's that. That's literally that. That is it. And I am holding myself accountable to showing up in the ways that I know works for me and accepting that is enough, right? Like that is good enough. And that is perfect. Actually, we appreciate that you just show up. And yeah, I just taught myself a really good lesson. I knew the lesson. Like I had an idea of the lesson, but I think in saying it in that way, it's like, wow, like it's a really self-sabotaging mechanism that you find other things to pay attention to and you find other things to give your attention and focus into. So I would record 2 videos and then I would try. Like I have it open on Final Cut Pro right now. My goal was like, okay, I'm going to edit this video. I'm going to sit down and edit it. And I'm like, pushing it off, procrastinating. Why? Like, why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you making yourself go through this when you know there's an easier way? Why don't you just let yourself have it easy? Why does it have to be hard? It feels like sometimes we like, in order for something to be real, in order for something to feel like you're doing something, it like has to feel hard. And maybe me just like pressing the record button and talking to it doesn't feel hard. So I'm like, it can't just be this easy. Why? Like, let's reframe that. It can be enough. Like this is enough in itself. And until it's not enough, I don't know whenever that will be, but until that time comes, then we will approach it. Then we will work on it. But until then, girl, focus right here. Do this, okay? And if that relates to you, and if you can relate to that, I get it. I understand. But we're in this together, and we're not going to self-sabotage because there are so many other things that deserve our attention and our energy, and it's not us keeping ourselves back. Okay.